Hello everyone, this is SMA Watts bringing you a deck tech for modern Silverblack. I'm going to be playing Red Deck Wins. Up front, I'm going to apologize. I have a bit of a cold, so I might have some throat issues and a little bit of sniffing while going through both this and the rounds probably. So, but right off the bat, this is a, like I said, modern Silverblack Red Deck Wins. It's fairly, like, I tried to focus on goblins when possible just to make Goblin Grenade better, even though it's singleton. There are 3 on the sideboard. I came out with this deck. I entirely built it myself, though it's pretty idiot-proof design. I was reading Frank Carson's article on Channel Fireball about gold fishing and optimal builds. So I kind of tried to decide to apply that mana curve, which is actually a fairly classic mana curve, to this, and just sort of built from there. So I started off with the 4 Memnites because while they are really bad after turn like 2, like once you basically stopped once you basically stopped using all of your mana every turn, which for this deck is turn 2 or 3 usually, they're bad. But in those first couple of turns, they enable you to put out this extra 1/1 that benefits from a couple of other things and helps get damage through if they have blockers and such. And it puts you just ahead on the tempo game by a bunch. Alright, oh, I do not have my preview panel up. Yeah. Memnite. Yep. 0 mana, 1/1 artifact creature. I have no complaints about this guy. He's really good. Alright, now we have 3 2 power 1 drops. We have Rakdos Cackler, Tattermung Maniac, who I love his name and picture, and Goblin Cohort. I'm pretty sure Cackler's probably the best because can't block is probably the least problematic drawback. And so for 2/2 for can't block, not that big a deal. Tattermung Maniac and Goblin Cohort have very opposite ends of the problem. Cohort, 53% of the deck is creatures. So odds, if you have a couple cohorts in play and they're just stranded there, of you not drawing a creature every turn, it's about it's slightly better than half you'll draw a creature. So most of the time you'll be able to top deck a creature and they'll attack. Most of the time. Tattermung Maniac, whoever has to attack. This is rarely a drawback, except for, when it is. Like, most of the time, you want to be attacking every turn anyways, and hopefully you can just force them into the position where, with something like a Boggart Ram Gang, where they really don't want to be blocking this guy, or if they block this guy, they're going to be letting more damage through. So hopefully he's just sort of the extra guy tagging along for the combat. Alright, so that's our 1 drops. We have, 12/16, / you could even say 20, though I hate playing Bushwhacker as Amon's Goblin Raider. But let's go into our 2 drops, and they start with our 2 drop that can be a 1 drop, but really is kind of crappy when he is. Bushwhacker. Bushwhacker is, like I said, he can be Amon's Goblin Raider, but he's much better as a curve topper, enabling you to maybe crack through that lethal attack on turn 3 or 4. Everything gets haste, and everything gets +1/+0. It can turn an attack for 5 or 6 into an attack for 10 or 12. Goblin War Driver. Goblin War Driver's really good. Like, I really like him. The Battle Cry ability on a deck that's just flooding the board with creatures is amazing. Like, I have no complaints. Like, I kind of wish he had haste. That's my only real complaint. But I chose to play War Driver over Mudbrawler cohorts who do have haste because I'd rather have the Battle Cry and the consistent 2/2. Gorehouse Chainwalker. 3 power for 2 mana in an aggro deck is always good. It breaks that 8/5 rule and all. And can't block is rarely a disadvantage in this deck. It really rarely is. Boggart Ram Gang is, in my opinion, probably in the Silverblack, one of the best red-green 3 drops you can have. There might be 1 or 2 that are higher power, but they don't have haste. And so, like, 3/3 haste for 3 is just really good. The fact that it sticks around makes it, as a 3/3 is great. And Wither is sort of just this added bonus of sometimes it'll also like if they block with something like a mnemonic wall or a wall of hope or something like that, it can't block it again next turn profitably. So I like the Ram Gang, and he's our only 4 mana or 3 drop. Then we go into our burn suite. I ran Singleton Goblin Grenade. I was originally going to run 2 Incinerates, but I wanted to try and see with which one of these actually came out better. So it's sort of a, when I draw one or the other, how often do I wish it was the other to see if maybe I should switch? Because I really kind of don't want, like, Incinerate's kind of expensive for the deck. It's 3 mana to be able to hit for the dome for 3. It's not that great. Though every once in a while I would rather hit for the dome for, be able to burn a creature out. Goblin Grenade is, of course, just, more often than not, a 1 mana lava axe. If you're sacrificing the goblin and not ending the game, it's probably not the best thing, but hopefully you're ending the game when you sack that goblin. Lightning Bolt. It's Lightning Bolt. Auto include 4 of them. They're always good. I can't, like, a format in which Lightning Bolt would be bad would be hard to envision. I guess everyone would have to be playing 4 toughness creatures or creatures with protection from red, and burn would have to be completely irrelevant. Flame Slash. This is probably the one that I kind of debated about the most, because when I was building it initially, this was 4 Incinerates, and I realized, more often than not, I can get through more damage if I can blow out a creature and attack. Like, Incinerate would require me, if, like, for instance, I had a Goblin Cohort and I had another 1-drop. If I drew Incinerate, I wanted to, get a blocker out of the way, I'd have to spend my entire turn killing the creature. Whereas if I had Flame Slash, I could Flame Slash it, drop another creature, and attack. And more often than not, I wanted to be able to kill Incinerate most of the time is going to be killing a blocker. Flame Slash does it better and cheaper. It's a sorcery, but it does do it cheaper. So that's why Flame Slash is a 4 of and Incinerate's a 1 of. With 18 lands, I would prefer doing 20, but I figure with the 4 Memnites, my mana curve kind of gets dragged down that little bit lower than it was. So hopefully this will work out as a basic form. I'll probably make some adjustments to it for after this tournament for next week, just to see if it works out a little better. Like what worked, what didn't, and all that. All right, sideboard. We have 3 more Goblin Grenades in the sideboard. This is sort of if I need to be faster, I can pull in the Goblin Grenades. More often than not, I'm probably going to pull either Memnites or Flame Slashes for them. Because if I just need to be faster, then I'm probably pulling the thing that I can't sack to Goblin Grenade. Relic of Progenitus is straight up for Junk Reanimator, which is one of the matchups that I'd probably have the most problems with. And once again, I'd probably pull Memnite for it because it cantrips, and Memnite is not very good in that matchup. They have a lot of ways of nullifying that kind of board presence. Molten Rain is straight up for Tron. There are other decks I could see bringing it in against, like decks play lots of different, like a 3 or 4 color deck that's using a lot of come into play tap lands. I would say Molten Rain's probably better than Boggart Ram Gang, and I'd probably swap it out because putting them back a turn and doing 2 damage is probably better than a 3/3. But that's only probably. If they're playing lots of colors and very low creatures, then I would pull Flame Slash and bring this in. In fact, generally against Tron, I'm going to pull Flame Slash because there's very few things I actually want to Flame Slash in Tron. They, like, Brutalizer Exarch is like the only thing that's worth Flame Slashing, and if they're casting Brutalizer Exarch, I'm probably already lost. I mean, you can't Flame Slash a Artisan. You can't Flame Slash. Actually, I think Artisan's like one of the only things you can't Flame Slash. Which you Flame Slashing a Mole Drifter, Flame Slashing a token from Urza's factory just isn't that great. I'd rather just blow up one of their lands. Skullcrack. Skullcrack is for if a deck has life-gaining shenanigans, like Kitchen Finks in particular. I might bring in Skullcrack, and that way I can turn off their life gain. Because potentially, if they play Kitchen Finks and you respond with Skullcrack, Skullcrack's fuel is functionally doing 5 damage instead of the 3 then, because it's also preventing the 2 life from being gained. But this is probably the sketchiest include, because it's really more of a, if I don't know what else to put in, I can always, you know, if for instance I was playing against like mono black control with very few creatures, I might pull Flame Slash for Skullcrack if it just there's not much to Flame Slash. I can always Skullcrack them for more damage to the dome. Alright, so that's the basic gist of the deck. Like, it's very simple. This is very straightforward. I don't expect any of my matches to really go particularly long. I'll either win or lose quite quickly, I figure. So thank you for watching, and please, please watch the rounds of the tournament and enjoy.